In the vast sky we gaze upon every day, there are creatures whose beauty takes our breath away. Not because they are rare, but because their appearance surpasses all imagination. As if someone hadn't drawn them, but created them with light and magic. Each individual plumage seems to be a hidden enigma. Every color, every shimmer, a silent message from nature that wonders still exist in this world. Some of these birds seem to have stepped out of a dream. Others carry legends on their wings, whispering of freedom, loyalty, courage, and the infinite diversity of life. Join us now on a journey through the skies to discover the 15 most beautiful birds on our planet. Each one is a flying jewel, a living work of art, and perhaps a reminder that beauty always exists where we are truly willing to look. The snowy owl, silent queen of the north. In the heart of the Arctic's icy expanse, where the sky remains dark for months and the boundary between earth and sky disappears, lives a creature that seems otherworldly, the snowy owl. In the silent, almost eerie landscape, its golden eyes gleam like two flames in the white night. When it spreads its wings, even the wind holds its breath, for its movement is silent. Its soft, white plumage not only provides camouflage, but also protects it from temperatures below -30 degrees Celsius. Even its feet are covered with dense feathers, as if it were created specifically for dominion over the frozen realm. When hunting, it doesn't chase. It observes, waits, and strikes at the perfect moment. A single, precise flight is all it takes. In the myths of the North, it is a symbol of wisdom and insight, the eye of the night that knows the secrets of the ice. For indigenous peoples, it is the spirit of the ancestors, a messenger from another world. When she glides silently across the snow, we understand that true strength doesn't roar. It whispers and reigns in perfect silence. The quetzal. In the diffused light of the treetops, its emerald green plumage glows like liquid fire. Its long silken tail dances behind it like a breath of sky. When it flies, it seems as if the light itself has sprouted wings. Graceful, almost ghostly, yet full of dignity. For the Maya, the quetzal was considered the most sacred being, a symbol of freedom and an indomitable spirit. It was believed that it died in captivity, for it belonged only to the sky, a winged spirit that no cage could contain. Its magnificent tail feathers once adorned the crowns of kings and warriors, symbols of honor, virtue, and greatness. Even today, its image graces the flag and currency of Guatemala as a silent reminder: freedom is humanity's most precious legacy. The quetzal does not sing loudly. Its call is soft, like a whisper of the wind. Yet in this gentleness lies an eternal truth. True beauty is free, and only those who are allowed to fly truly live. The red cardinal, the flame in the snow. In the deep, snow-covered forests of North America, when everything is frozen in icy white, a luminous red suddenly breaks the silence. Like a flickering spark of life, the red cardinal. This small bird carries within it a power that seems greater than its body. The male shines in fiery red like a sunbeam in winter. The female, on the other hand, is more softly colored, in warm, brownish red with golden hues. Together they embody the balance between radiance and gentleness. Early in the morning, when the sky is still gray and the snow lies heavy on the branches, its song rings out, bright, clear, like a delicate symphony awakening the day, a song that breaks the ice and calls back life. But the cardinal is not only beautiful, it is a symbol of fidelity. These birds stay together for life, build their nests together, sing in duet, and raise their young with devotion. When one goes off to forage, the other stays behind and sings to say, "I am still here." In many cultures, its appearance is considered a sign, a visit from a beloved deceased person, bringing love and hope. For true love needs no grand gestures. It is self-sufficient and can even warm the winter. The eclectus parrot, when opposites embrace. In the dense rainforests of New Ireland, where the rain falls like a veil of maracta and the light dances in green loops through the canopy, lives a bird that astonishes the world with its perfect balance, the eclectus parrot. High above, among the branches, two creatures fly side by side, yet they seem to come from entirely different worlds. The male glows a brilliant emerald green, while the female shines a deep red with a violet shimmer. Her beak is black and glossy like ebony. For a long time it was believed that they were two different species, until it was realized that they are a pair, two halves that together form a perfect whole. But their beauty is only the beginning. Electus parrots are astonishingly intelligent. They recognize faces, imitate voices, and express emotions. They are monogamous, share tree hollows as nests, take turns incubating the eggs, and protect each other from danger. In the islanders' culture, they are considered a symbol of balance, of yin and yang, of wisdom and thoughtful love. In a world full of contradictions, two opposites fly through the same sea of leaves, showing us that harmony arises not from uniformity, but from the conscious coexistence of differences. Thus, beauty is perfected. Mandarin ducks, silent fidelity in the morning mist. A picture-perfect morning. Mist hangs over a still lake in East Asia like a veil of dreams. The water reflects the world so calmly that even time seems to stand still. And then, ever so quietly, two small bodies break the surface, leaving ripples as delicate as a breath. In the slanting light of the morning sun, their wings shimmer like melting colors, burning orange, deep jade green, cool blue. A living painting, more beautiful than anything ever created by human hands. The male, proud, with a curved crest like a king in silk. The female, reserved, in soft brown with white accents, together a picture of quiet harmony. In Eastern culture, mandarin ducks are considered a symbol of eternal love, for they stay together for life. If one dies, the other lives alone. A silent, honest fidelity, not spoken, but lived. Yet behind the gentleness lies strength. When the mother leads her chicks from a high branch into the water, they leap without hesitation, without fear, as if faith in life were etched deep into their hearts. This is how this pair reminds us. True love is quiet and reveals itself not in grand gestures, but in simple existence, still, faithful, and eternal, like the lake that bears their image. The bird of paradise, when beauty becomes ritual. There are places where even nature holds its breath. Deep in the rainforest of New Guinea, where the first light of day breaks through thick fog and drips onto glistening leaves, a moment occurs that seems like magic. From a moss-covered branch, a creature emerges into the light, as if from another world. A bird of paradise. As soon as sunbeams touch its plumage, each individual feather transforms into a flowing beam of light. What follows is not mere courtship. It is a sacred dance of life. The male twists, stretches, and unfolds his wings like a radiant crown. Gold, violet, turquoise, a spectacle of color that looks as if painted by a god himself. Every head movement, every leap, perfectly orchestrated, full of grace and precision. Beauty in its purest form. With over 40 species, from Paradisea apoda to Lophorina superbaba, the bird of paradise is a vibrant symphony of diversity. For the people of New Guinea, it is a celestial messenger, a bridge between earth and sky. Once hunted for its precious plumage, it is now strictly protected. For true beauty belongs to no one. It is not a possession, but a gift. The Hurzent macaw, the sky that has learned to fly. As the sun slowly sinks behind the vast swamps of the Brazilian Pantanal, the sky turns a deep blue, a blue that suddenly rises and sprouts wings. The Hurzent macaw, the largest parrot in the world, is like a living jewel. Its glossy, cobalt blue plumage seems to swallow the light and simultaneously send it back up into the sky. With a wingspan of almost a meter, it appears as a gentle giant, full of elegance and power. Its golden yellow eyes sparkle like amber, its curved beak cracking even the hardest nuts with ease. But true greatness isn't just about outward appearance. These macaws live in lifelong partnerships. They fly together, calling to each other with unique sounds, a language only they understand. If one is injured, the other never leaves its side, sharing food, protecting it from the rain, and remaining. After decades of hunting and deforestation, they were considered almost lost. Today, thanks to the efforts of courageous conservation programs in Brazil, their blue silhouettes are once again traversing the evening sky. And in these moments, we realize that true beauty lies not in color, but in connection. In that bond that gives life meaning and makes even the sky a little warmer. The peacock, when the rain releases the light. When the rain releases the light. After the first monsoon rains in India, the scent of wet earth and steam hangs over the land. Thunder rumbles slowly across the horizon. The air holds its breath. And then a soft call, long, mysterious. It emerges from the damp twilight, slowly, proudly, majestically. The peacock. And when the first ray of sunlight after the rain touches its plumage, it unfurls its tail. Suddenly, the entire landscape seems to glow, in an eruption of blue, emerald green, copper, and violet, like a rainbow woven from pure light. Each feather bears a round eye, gleaming metallically and moving in the breeze. But the wonder lies not in color, but in structure. Tiny refractions of light create this spectacle, as if nature itself had begun to paint. In Indian culture, the peacock is a sacred animal, a symbol of purity and wisdom, associated with New America. It is Saraswati, the goddess of the arts, music, and knowledge. When it dances in the rain, people believe in bountiful harvests and purified souls. And perhaps the most astonishing thing about this bird is how still it makes the world. For true beauty needs no explanation. It radiates simply as it is. Like the peacock, displaying its plumage under a clear sky, showing us that some things are beautiful simply because they are. The topaz hummingbird, the heart of hope in flight. Deep in the dense heart of the Amazon, where sunlight seeps through the green canopy of leaves in only delicate rays, a small miracle sometimes occurs. A tiny flash of light cuts through the silence. Not a sunbeam, but a floating gemstone, the topaz hummingbird. Only 10 centimeters long, yet luminous like liquid fire, ruby red, golden like molten metal, emerald green. Every movement of its wings makes the light dance, and these wings, delicate as petals, beat up to 80 times per second. Thus it hovers weightlessly in the air, flies backward, rises vertically, as if it has forgotten gravity. Its humming is barely audible, only to those who truly listen, like a whisper of life itself. For the indigenous peoples of the Amazon, the hummingbird is a messenger of joy, hope, and inner strength. Whoever sees it, they believe, is in for a happy moment. But for science, it is more than that, a vital link in the ecosystem. It pollinates countless flowers, thus maintaining the balance of the forest. The topaz hummingbird is not a mighty eagle, not a magnificent peacock, but it carries a quiet truth within it. Great things often begin in small ways. And when its tiny body flies through the shimmering light of the treetops, it seems as if the hope of the earth itself has taken flight. The Nicobar dove, a jewel from a bygone era. On scattered islands in the Indian Ocean, where white sand embraces palm groves and the surf never ceases, lives a bird that seems like a forgotten piece of history, the Nicobar dove. Its plumage gleams as if forged from light and metal, emerald green with bronze reflections, deep violet mingled with golden rays. As it trudges slowly through the coastal forests, it appears as if a living gemstone is wandering through time. It is the closest living relative of the legendary dodo, that bird long since vanished from the earth. Every beat of the Nicobar dove's wings carries a whisper from an age when no human footprints touched the ground. Its very existence speaks of the fragility of life and its unwavering power to endure. Scientists discovered that these pigeons can orient themselves using the Earth's magnetic field and the stars, allowing them to navigate across vast oceans between islands without ever losing their way. Yet their very beauty became their downfall. Hunted, traded, nearly wiped out. And yet they are still here. In the midst of a noisy, destructive world, their presence is a miracle, a fragment of the past that lives on in the present, and reminds us that true beauty does not fade. It merely changes its form to endure. The white swan, the gentleness that remains. On a still lake somewhere in Europe, when morning is still shrouded in mist and the world's breath is soft, two white silhouettes glide side by side, so delicate as if moonbeams were floating across the water. They are white swans, those birds that have been revered for centuries as the embodiment of pure beauty and unconditional love. When two swans approach each other and intertwine their necks to form a heart, an image emerges that has become one of nature's most romantic symbols. Yet behind this graceful elegance lies remarkable strength. With a wingspan of over 2.4 meters, they cross storms and snow to return home. They build their nest together, gathering twigs, lining it with grass, and when the cygnets hatch, they take turns caring for and protecting them. In many cultures, the swan represents fidelity and a pure soul. For the ancient Greeks, it was the sacred bird of Aphrodite. In Norse legends, it is a messenger between the world of gods and that of humans. When you see them gliding across the water, time seems to slow down. Every movement is gentle, but never weak, peaceful, yet full of dignity. And therein lies their true strength, not in conquering, but in mastering the storms, with silent grace. The blue mannequin, when the forest begins to dance. In the humid Atlantic rainforest of Brazil, sunlight breaks through the dense canopy only sporadically, in sparkling patches of light, like on a silent stage. And suddenly, it begins to play. The quiet music of the forest, the song of the blue mannequin, delicate, melodious. And then movement. Small males with sky blue plumage, bright red heads, and glossy black wings emerge. They form up, line up, and begin to dance. 2, sometimes 3. They move in sync, nodding to the beat, fluttering their wings in perfect harmony, like dancers who have rehearsed their performance hundreds of times. And all this for just one audience, a silent female observing from above. In nature, competition is often the path to attention, but the mannequin shows us the opposite. Here, cooperation is key. Only together can a perfect dance be created. Only in harmony is beauty complete. For biologists, this is one of the most impressive examples of biological resonance, proof that true attraction doesn't stem from the individual, but from the harmony of the whole. Strength doesn't emanate from the individual, but from the harmony of the whole. In a world where people often struggle to be seen, this little bird reminds us that beauty lies not in who stands out, but in the moment when everything pulsates in unison, like a forest dancing with life. The rainbow lorikeet, when the morning light takes on color. On the east coast of Australia, when the first rays of sunlight touch the crowns of the eucalyptus trees, something magical happens. The forest explodes in sound and color. Small, colorful dots plummet from the sky like living fireworks. They are rainbow lorikeets, birds that carry the rainbow in their wings. Their plumage is a celebration of color, a green head, a fiery orange breast, a lemon yellow belly, emerald green wings with a bluish shimmer, as if nature itself had painted in pure joy. But behind this beauty is a marvel of evolution. These lorikeets possess a brush-like tongue with hundreds of tiny papillae, perfect for sipping the nectar of eucalyptus and grevillea blossoms. What they do in the process, without realizing it, is pollinate. And so, with every flight from tree to tree, they ensure the survival of hundreds of plant species. But what touches people most is their very being. The rainbow lorikeet breathes again, and perhaps that is its quiet message. Where there is color, there is joy. And where there is joy, there is life itself. The emperor penguin, the silent fire in the ice. At the end of the world, where Antarctica stretches into endless white expanses, the wind cuts through the silence like a knife. Temperatures plummet to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Life seems impossible here. And yet, in the midst of the storm, slowly, unwaveringly, a creature waddles through the snow. The emperor penguin. The largest and most majestic of all penguins, his gait seems almost comical, yet in truth it carries the weight of a story of perseverance and devotion. When the Antarctic winter begins, the males gather on the bare ice. Each balances a single egg on his feet, covered by a warm fold of skin. While the females swim hundreds of kilometers out to sea, the males stand for weeks in the icy darkness, without food, without sleep. Only occasionally do they move slightly to maintain their balance. They huddle together, thousands of bodies pressed tightly together, forming a circle of life in the heart of a frozen desert. When the chick hatches, the fathers are exhausted, but they protect it until the mother returns. The handover is wordless, yet full of meaning. The emperor penguin shows us that beauty doesn't have to glitter. It lies in quiet loyalty, in endurance, in the invisible bond that burns like a warm fire through the eternal ice. The flamingo, the color of connection. Ice. The flamingo, the color of connection. When the first light of day sweeps across the vast salt lakes of Africa, the water begins to glow, in a soft pink as if the sky itself had descended. And then they appear, thousands of elegant figures striding through the shimmering water. Flamingos, nature's most graceful dancers. With their long, slender legs, gently arched necks, and upright posture, they seem like sculptures of light and wind. But the pink we admire so much is not a birth gift. As chicks, flamingos are gray. It is not a birth gift. As chicks, flamingos are gray. Only through their diet, algae, darts, and small crustaceans with carotene pigments, does their plumage gradually turn pink. They literally become a mirror of their habitat. They wear the colors of the world they live in. Flamingos live in large colonies, often with tens of thousands of birds. As they move together across the water, a perfect group dance unfolds. No leader, no command, just a shared rhythm. This harmony is their principle of survival. Their strength lies in unity. In many cultures, they symbolize balance and community, beauty born from interplay, of individuality and collective, of color and movement. And when the sunset paints the water blood red and the flock takes to the air, a silent echo remains, a quiet testament to the fact that true beauty arises from harmony. All beauty begins with harmony. In the vast sky, wings trace their circles, gentle and persistent. They speak, and yet each flight tells a story of freedom, of love, of faith in beauty. In a world that is ever accelerating, sometimes it is enough simply to lift our gaze, to remember, he writes.